What's up, guys, and welcome to the very first episode of my Football Manager series here with Everton. A brand new series and also my very first video on the channel. So if we could show this some love just by leaving a like, it would be very, very much appreciated. So we've got an awful lot to get through today. We're going to have a look at the squad as it stands. We're going to look to see if there's anyone in the under-23s or under-18s that we can perhaps promote to our first team. We're going to look at some transfer business. We don't have an awful lot of money to spend, and we will play our first game of the Premier League season, which I believe, and it is away against Burnley on opening day. A tough game against the Clarets, lots to get through, so let's get straight into it. So we do have quite a big squad. What I'm actually going to do is filter out some of the players who are not currently at the club, just to trim that down a bit and give us a bit more of an idea about what we've got to work with. Looks much smaller now. Now, on first look, in terms of ability, our player with the highest ability, currently as it stands with 4 stars, is Luca Digne, the left back. He's going to be a key player for us this season in that role. Really good passing, really good technique, decent tackling as well. Love his mental, 17 work rate. I always love that, especially in a fullback, and 16 determination. No slouch either in terms of acceleration and pace. He's going to be vital for us this season. On a contract until 2023 as well, so we'll look to have him here for the long haul. Players like Yerry Mina and Andre Gomez also going to be key for us. 3.5 star Yerry Mina, 24 years old, starting to come up in the next few years to the peak of his career. Great attributes for a centre-half. 16 heading, 13 passing, 14 marking, 14 tackling. I am going to be playing with ball-playing defenders as well. So we're going to look for him to have a good season. He's going to be key for us. I think that probably one of the areas that I'm going to look for in terms of signings is going to be a centre-half, because we don't appear to have an awful lot of them at the club in terms of quality. We've got Michael Keane, who's not too bad at 3 stars, still has a little bit of potential in him as well. Yerry Mina's going to be the main man. We've got Mason Holgate as well, who I'm going to look to bring through, starting to show a little bit of potential now with that 14 heading, 14 tackling, and 13 marking, 14 passing. Also a ball-playing defender, which is really playing into my hands at the moment. Now, when we look at the squad, especially in terms of the squad depth, it really starts to stand out where we need some players. We've got the centre-halves, like we said, Yerry Mina, Michael Keane, Mason Holgate, who are going to be the main ones, but then there seems to be quite a big cut-off for that. We're back down to 2 star. Fullbacks on the left, we seem okay with Luca Digne and Leighton Baines. We've got Seamus Coleman, Sidibe, Mason Holgate, who can also fill in at right back. Centre midfield, some quality players in here. I won't be playing a 4-4-2 personally, but we've got like Gomez, Schneiderlin, Sigurdsson, Tom Davis as well. 4 more players in there. Fabian Delph, who I completely forgot was actually an Everton player. We're not too bad on the wings, maybe a little bit more in there. These are probably 2 star because they really play higher up the pitch. So Bernard is going to be key for us. Garbut's out on loan at the moment, but Bernard, Iwobi, Walcott, Iwobi as well on that right-hand side. And up top, we're not too bad either. Richarlison, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who I'm really looking forward to using him. I haven't used him in FM this year. So I think we've got a pretty decent squad. The area that I'm really probably going to look to improve, and especially as we don't have much money in the budget at the moment, just £10 million. Decent overall bank balance, though, which is a great start for us. But I think that centre-half position is where I'm going to really look to improve. I'm not looking to lose anyone in terms really of Mina, Keane or Holgate, but if we can add a player with an extra bit of quality in there, I think it'll stand us in good stead for this season. Now, like I say, we don't have that much money in the transfer budget. Pretty healthy overall bank balance, but one of the things that is quite alarming at the moment with Everton is the debt and the loans. Net debt, 369 million. Transfer debt, 58 million. So we've got some bank loan repayments that are going to start very, very soon. 37 million. Wow, incredible. So all that money that we've got in this balance is probably going to go down quite rapidly as we continue this save. Now, in terms of the save itself and what the aim is, I'm only probably going to get to do 2 or 3 seasons. I'll play most games on camera just due to time restraints, really. We will play the odd 1 or 2 games off camera here and there, but the majority of this will be live, which this might suit some people and others it might not, but it's probably going to be short, snappy, quite quick. The games will be quite quick. There won't be too much in there in terms of games. It'll, mainly be goals and key highlights. But the aim of the save, because I'm only going to get to do 2 or 3 seasons before FM21 comes out, this is a bit of a kind of a pilot series, if you like, to get me recording on YouTube and to get that practice in. So I think the aim is going to be to win a cup, really. I don't think we're going to win the Premier League in 2 or 3 seasons, even if we do stretch to 4. It'd be tough to win the Premier League. But if we can win some cups, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, I am going to take seriously. And, if we can get into Europe as well and have a little Europa League run, that would be really, really fun. So I'm really looking forward to this series. I'm going to fast forward on now a little bit, and I'm going to show you guys what we've done in the transfer market, and we'll get to that game against the Clarets away from home. So we've moved on through pre-season. We've played all our pre-season games. The transfer window actually is due to close in 2 days' time. Whether there's any more business to be done there, I'm not quite sure yet. But we have made one sign-in, and we have made it in an area that we really, really needed. Transfer activity. So none of these transfers from here upwards are ours. They were already generated in the game, so I haven't spent 116 million. But the one sign-in that I did make was Thilo Kehrer from PSG, and he cost me nothing. He was on the transfer list, and he was £3.9 million. And looking at his attributes, I think he's going to be absolutely superb for us. He's actually played 5 games in pre-season for us, got an assist, got a 7.48 average rating. We haven't played monumentally massive teams in pre-season, but look at these attributes: 15 heading, 14 marking, 16 tackling, decent mentals that maybe need a little bit more work, but what I really like about him is his bravery at 15, composure at 15 as well, teamwork at 14, so a real team player, and his physicals are excellent. He's not slow, 13 acceleration, 17 pace, 16 natural fitness, and tries to play his way out of trouble. And key for me, ball-playing defender. So Thilo Kehrer is our one and only transfer into the club over the summer period. We have sold a couple of players. This guy, Dennis Andranian, has gone off to Cardiff for 500k. And we've also sold to try and boost that transfer budget a little bit more in case we do get anyone in. Nias has moved out of the club. He's gone to Dynamo Kiev for 3.8 million. Potential for that to move to 4.6, but that's depending on appearances and goals and all that good stuff. But at 29 years old, and especially with some of the players that we have got in this team in those forward positions, such as like Moise Kean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, I couldn't see him getting too much game time. Like I say, I'm going to be playing decent squads in the Cups. The Carabao Cup I'll be taking seriously. And I'm not going to be playing too many fringe players in those. So I couldn't see a future for Nias. And he has left and joined Dynamo Kiev. But in terms of this transfer in, Thilo Kehrer, really, really happy with him. Can't wait to use him. And he's had a positive pre-season. Now, speaking of pre-season, we played 2, 4, 6, 8 games. And we had a pretty decent run. Not a great start against Everton in the under-23s, drawing by 1 goal each. But we played Sparta Praha, Sparta Rotterdam, who we beat comfortably 4-1 and 4-0. We lost 5-2 to Ajax in a friendly as well. And then the rest of them we all won pretty comfortably. 3-0, 4-1 in Leighton Baines' testimonial. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce this name, but we won by 8-1. And AEK, we beat 3-0 on our last outing. We've had a little bit of a rest since then, just over a week in time for the Burnley game. And the tactic that I've adopted with this team has worked pretty well so far. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail, but we're going to try and be positive. And we'll play out of the defence. We'll run at the defence with we've got a winger and an inside forward, both on attack. So I'm looking for him to be quite expressive and play at a high tempo. And with the ball-playing defenders as well, we will look to play out from the back. The deep-line playmaker and the defensive midfielder will just provide a little bit of support in front of that back four. And like I say, so far in pre-season, it's worked pretty well. We've not played amazing sides. Ajax obviously being the best, who absolutely tanked us by 5-2. But in the games that we have played, we've looked really good in terms of the shots that we've got on goal, like 29 shots, 11 on target. We're getting the lion's share of possession in most friendlies as well. Even the Ajax one, we had 17 shots and 9 on target and lost 5-2. They scored with all 5 efforts on target in that game, which is pretty worrying for Martin Stekelenburg, our Dutch veteran goalkeeper. But he's not going to be the number one anyway. It's going to be Jordan Pickford. Now, the bank balance as it stands, that overall balance already starting to go down with that debt repayment that we've started. The transfer budget currently at 3.9 million. We've got a little bit left in the wage budget as well, probably about 60k in there. I don't think we're going to do any more business. I've had a little look around, and I don't think we're going to do any more, to be honest. I think this is what we're going to go with until that January transfer window, unless anything comes up in the next couple of days. But if it does, I'll let you guys know about it. So transfer deadline day, no activity as it stands, but I was just reading this little article that's on screen regarding player wage expenditure in the Premier League, and we're actually the 6th highest team in terms of wage expenditure per week at 2.2 million, just behind Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and then United and City going out a little bit further. But I was quite surprised. We're spending more a week than Tottenham, but they do have quite a good financial structure, and more than Newcastle as well. Villa, who've just come up, and then the rest don't surprise me at all. Sheffield United just spending 525k a week on wages. Absolutely incredible. But I think it's time, folks. There's not going to be too much more in terms of the transfer window. It is about to close, and we're going to get to our first game of the season against Burnley. So before we get to that game, in terms of our expectations for this season from the board, they're expecting a top half Premier League finish. They want to reach the 5th round of the FA Cup and the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. So we enter at the 2nd round of the Carabao Cup. I will be taking that seriously, and the 3rd round in the FA Cup. And then finally, in terms of that Premier League, in terms of the season preview and where the bookies think we're going to finish, they reckon we're going to finish 9th. I think I'd take that, going into the first season at the club, first chance to build. There's probably still some players that we do want to get out here and there, maybe 1 or 2 of the older ones, and make some adequate replacements, potentially in the January transfer window, but if not, definitely next summer. So I think I'd take a 9th place finish, just in order so that we keep our job moving into next season, and the fact that if we could do really well in the Cups, that would be a bonus for us. In terms of opening weekend, we do actually play on the Sunday, but these are the results from the Saturday. No hugely surprising results in here. Liverpool, Man United, both getting off to good starts against Newcastle and Brighton, respectively. Southampton sneaking a 3-2 win at Leicester is probably one of the more surprising ones. The Blades winning against Palace. Norwich getting a decent start to their campaign away at Watford. City beat Villa 4-0 and a 2-0 victory for Chelsea over West Ham. So first and only game of today's episode, where we take on Burnley, the Clarets, at Turf Moor. And this is the side that we've picked. We're playing in that 4-2-3-1 formation that I showed you a little bit earlier. So Pickford in goal, Digne, Kehrer, Holgate and Sidibe at the back, Gomez and Schneiderlin in the middle, Bernard, Sigurdsson, Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin up top. In terms of the injury report, Yerry Mina is the main player missing. He's going to be out for another 8 to 10 days with a twisted ankle that he picked up in pre-season. So it's quite a young back four today, especially the 2 centre-halves, both 22-year-olds. Thilo Kehrer making his Premier League debut against the Clarets. Come on the Toffees. Be really great if we could get off to a good start today in the Premier League. And it looks like we're going to have the first opportunity as well, but sadly not, as McNeil picks the ball up. Ball's deflected and Sigurdsson can break away. He has got Calvert-Lewin up there with him, and Sigurdsson into the side netting. First attempt, but I'd love it if we could make a great start, to, not only to this season, but also to the series. Here's Gomez, ball in, trying to find Bernard on that left-hand side, and it's a mess in the box. Bernard will try again, and Hendrick clears the danger for Burnley. Tell you what, though, we've put them under real pressure at the start of this game, and Bernard hits the post. Ben Mee making the clearance, but the opening few minutes, it's been all Everton so far. So half-time, still 0-0. We've had the majority of the shots, though. 12 efforts at goal, 5 on target and 63% possession. Not bad for us. We need to try and push that on in the second half. Solid first game so far for us. Here's Sidibe, back towards Morgan Schneiderlin. We need to keep an eye on fitness as well. Still early in this season as Burnley try and clear the ball. It only comes as far as Holgate and then to the new signing, Kehrer. Bernard skips past his man. That's got to be a penalty, ref. I think it is. He's going to go to VAR. The spot kick is given, and it's going to be Sigurdsson, and he scores. 1-0 Everton. Perfect start to the second half for us. Hopefully on the way to 3 points. Beautiful spot kick. Tom Pope diving the wrong way. Bottom left-hand corner. You know, I couldn't be more pleased so far. Really, really couldn't. Burnley haven't mustered. Oh, and he's offside. Bernard. Oh, great opportunity for us to go 2-0 up, but I think he was offside. Yeah, he's clearly offside. There's actually 2 players offside in there. But we've looked really, really good. I'm so happy with this performance. Chance for Burnley, though, right towards the end of the game. Good save by Pickford. I would have been devastated. If we'd have lost a goal there, it would be so unjust because we have absolutely dominated. There's going to be another chance. Theo Walcott, the substitute, straight at Tom Pope. But we have dominated this game, and that should do it. And in our opening game of the season, we win by a 1-0 at Turf Moor. Come on, the Toffees. We've done so well. Burnley came back into it a little bit towards the end, but 16 efforts at goal, 7 on target, 60% possession. Absolutely fantastic. Player of the match today is Andre Gomez, a 7.1 rating. We didn't see too much of him in terms of the highlights, but the 26-year-old had a great game in midfield, and we've got our first 3 points of the season. So in terms of the league table and results on opening day, 7th as it stands, it means nothing. Only 1 game played. Wolves picking up a victory as well on the opening day against Spurs, and of course our 1-0 victory at Burnley. Really, really good start for us. So happy. And that is going to do it for the first episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It's nice to get some recording done, get some practice in. And we will come back in the next episode. And we're going to try and play quite a lot of games in the episode. So we'll do a bit of a 4-game special, starting off with our first home game against Brighton. Home against Wolves. We don't know who we're going to play yet in the EFL Cup second round. And then we'll finish the episode off with a trip to Stamford Bridge as we play Chelsea. But once again, thank you so much for watching. Much love, and I'll catch you guys next time.